In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do the forward, backwards, stepwise, and all possible model selection techniques in JMP, all related back to this cement data that we had in our notes. So I loaded the data into JMP. Then we're going to go to Analyze, Fit Model, so something we've done before. Our Y is going to go here. Our X is Shift, Highlight, Add. Where we're going to differ now is up until now we would just hit Run, but we don't want to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this personality setting. We're going to click it, and we're going to go to Stepwise. Okay, let me repeat that. You're going to go to Personality and click on Stepwise. Then we're going to click Run. It's going to give us this nice little table. So the first default that they do is the minimum BIC. And we'll talk about that in a second, but I want this to relate back to our notes with the p-value threshold. Again, I don't recommend doing stepwise regression for your research using the p-value threshold approach. I would recommend doing the AIC or BIC. The reason we did it with the p-value in class is because we've had practice with understanding p-values and alpha levels, okay? Here, probability to enter and the probability to leave is where you can set your alpha. So in our notes, we set alpha to 0.15 for entry and then for removal, okay? Here's where we're going to choose whether we're going to go forward, backward, or mixed. We're going to do forward first. The one cool thing about JMP is that you can press step, and what this is going to do is it's just going to do a single step in that direction. So watch, step, and it's going to tell us to add variable 4. Then we can step again, and it's going to tell us to add variable 1, and we can step again, and it's going to tell us to add variable 2, and we can step again, and it makes that little bink noise, okay? If we remove all, you can also just press go, and it will tell you to add these 3 variables. Notice that we do have this kind of step history. That's just going to keep tallying as we play with stuff. Okay, remove that. We can also do backwards. I'm just going to click through the steps. Oh, we got to enter all of them, right? Because that's how backwards works. We enter all of them. And then we want to step to remove, no more to remove. We could have also removed all and just said, oh, enter all, click go, and it does it for us. There's also the mixed, and we can press go, and it does the same idea. This step is more of a procedure for us to understand. This go just gets us the results. Now let's say this is the model we like. We can go to make model, and it comes back up to this model specification, and we can hit run. Or we can just say run model, and it's going to give us kind of the analysis that we've seen before with our models. Okay. The other thing you can do is, again, change your stopping rule to do BIC, and you can press go. Oh, okay. Cancel, stop. Too many notifications. You have to do it with forward and backward for the minimum AIC and BIC, but you press go and it will tell you. You can enter all, remove all. Go, and does the same idea. Okay, now let's talk about how we get our best possible. So we're in our stepwise. We're going to click this red arrow here, and we're going to scroll down to all possible models. Click. This is the maximum number of terms in the model. We're going to keep it at 4, and this is the number of best models to see. We'll keep this at 4. If you have interactions in your term, typically it's suggested that you keep the ordering of it. So if you have an interaction between x1 and x4, it's recommended that you keep x1 and x4, the single variables. We didn't talk about that. Typically, this will come into play if you have a lot of terms, but we'll just keep it as it is. Press OK. And now we have what we saw on our notes. Notice that CP is not set as a default. So we're going to right-click, columns, CP. Right-click, column, CP, and we're going to get it. Notice where the second for, so right here we have that sentence that says ordered up to the best 4 models up to 4 terms. So in our case we had 4 terms, but notice that for models with only 2 variables, they're only giving us the top 4. Whereas in our notes, I gave you all of the possible variables. So that's what the 2 numbers are doing. R will also give you this plot, and sometimes people will look at when this dips, and there's the elbow in the root mean squared as another way to pick your model. With that, this covers how to do model selection in JMP.